With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free paint or exterior stain sample to test your look and find the perfect color to confidently refresh your space. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid in-store only 6/19 through 6/25. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If you love entertainment, current events, and Hollywood, don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today, we have a wonderful show and a special guest. Whoever wants to start first, go for it.
I'll start. I'm Robin Hofmann. I'm the writer and director of I Win.
Love it. And
I'm Bronsonn Taylor, and I portrayed Principal Hawkins in the movie I Win.
I guess I'll go next. My name is Ryan Painter, and I play Ivan Brewer in I Win.
love it. Love it.
My name is Austin Lampy, and I play Jack Donovan in I Win.
My name is Emi Kiria, and I play Bailey Jennings.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Well, I must first state, to the director, thank you for an amazing, powerful story, that explores all these themes of friendship and bullying and representation and how important that is in cinema. Please tell me why this film is so important to you.
Wow, that's such a big question, but easy to answer.
Yeah.
So before I got into film, I worked with people with disabilities for 27 years.
Amazing.
And I have an autistic daughter. So really what I saw mostly is their biggest challenge was the world around them that just didn't understand them. And I feel like showing people in an entertaining way gives us an opportunity to let them know exactly how capable and how wonderful and how awesome it is to be around people with disabilities.
Absolutely. And I'm all for representation. I think representation is so important, and it's even more powerful to showcase that, and because you don't really, it's one of those things, like, I'm all about women in film and empowerment and just seeing people being represented right and sharing those stories and true stories that people can relate to. Was like, how important was that? Because I think I saw somewhere that it was like, even to the crew, that you got crew that had also these disabilities that were part of this production, which is, I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, there were definitely people in crew that had disabilities as well. It's always important for me to involve everyone, and that's what true inclusion means.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want everyone to have, tell me a little bit about themselves. What kind of got you into the world of the arts? Whoever wants to start first, go right ahead. And like a little bit about your childhood and kind of how'd you get into acting?
Thanks.
All right, I'll start it off. So my name is Bronsonn Taylor.
What's up, Bronsonn?
Hey, girl.
I see you.
Been a minute.
I know.
But I, as a child, I was just a silly kid, happy-go-lucky. I always wanted to make people laugh, make people happy. Very kind, giving soul, And then, every once in a while, life will throw a curveball at you to make you forget who you were, lose that childlike mentality. So I got serious for a number of years. But what drew me back to who I was getting into acting, formally getting into acting. It allowed me to play make believe as an adult, and I don't always have to be serious. I could be authentically who I am, or I could dress in another role. So that's what drew me into acting.
I love that. Love that.
I guess I'll follow up. His voice is a lot smoother than mine, but let me see. No, I did a lot of film and TV. I did a lot of theater when I was growing up. My mom, she asked me if I wanted to do a production of Willy Wonka when I was like 10. And because I did a lot of talent shows before, and I thought I was like a little pop star in my elementary school or whatever. And so I did a production of Willy Wonka, and I was too tall to play Charlie. So then they wrote in a little character for me, and that kind of started it. So I did a lot of theater from there going on, and I did like plays like productions like Fiddler on the Roof, and
Nice.
I did like Mary Poppins. I was Bert in there, and I did Lion King. I just did a lot of different things and I really enjoyed it. And then believe it or not, I saw High School Musical, and I was like, I want to be Zac Efron. So that's when I decided to do film and TV stuff, and I started taking it seriously when I was around like 19. I had some things under my belt, and then I did a couple of things for Netflix and stuff, and yeah, and I feel like I'm doing it every day. I'm actually going to shoot something in Portland, Oregon tomorrow. So
All
we're trying to make it happen. So yeah, it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. And it's and everybody on here, has really had to swallow their pride at some point. And I feel like it's just amazing to be able to tell such powerful stories like Robin wrote too. So
Absolutely.
I guess I used to do just like little theater productions growing up. I remember in preschool playing the Gingerbread Man, which was a lot of fun. I still have like very hazy memories of it. I was really more of a sports kid growing up, played a lot of like baseball, basketball, football. Then once I hit high school, I don't know, I kind of just re-fell in love with it. Had a good support group of friends around me that we would make short films together, and we had an acting class, and just, yeah, really that's when it, dog is shaking next to me, sorry. That's when it really kind of clicked, and I was like, this is what I'm in love with. This is what I want to do. So yeah, from then on, it was just day in and day out. Didn't go to college, went to acting classes instead. So
Nice. Nice.
Well, I guess I'll go. I'm perhaps the opposite of that because I ended up going to college and I'm in college now.
Nice.
But my mom, like Ryan, also got me into acting. Kind of like I have this kid who needs to do something outside of school. So like, what is she gonna do? I tried swimming, I tried dancing, and that kind of got my mom into like, oh, she likes dancing. Maybe you want to do this like local children's community theater. So I started out with theater. I did lots of musical theater, and there was this acting play center that was close to me that was for film specifically, but you were only able to join when you were 13. So I had to wait for a while to be able to join. And once I did, I fell in love with film acting. I think for me, I really love storytelling and I loved reading books a lot growing up. So it felt like just another way of being able to express myself in stories and live out the things I had seen in books that I loved so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And growing up, I ended up liking school a lot. So I went on to college, but I major in psych and women's studies. So I went through psych because I thought it would be good for acting to be able to understand human behavior and why we behave the way we do. And through that, I feel like while I do love the academic side of it, I feel like it's really just helped me as an actor. And I just love being able to blend my different interests into, things that I do. Because at the end of the day, I'd like to do what I love. Like
Yeah.
everyone here, I'm sure.
That's awesome. I love that. Robin, I want to say, like, I commend you for just putting such an amazing project together. Tell me a little bit about the process and like, getting all these amazing actors together. What was that like?
That was wild. We had over 4,000 submissions
Ooh,
for what was 6 roles, I think. So that was definitely new for me to have that many, because that was the first time I did an actual nationwide casting call,
amazing.
and several of these folks wound up getting the role simply because I met them in person or I saw something. So I can go through the list really quick right now. Bronsonn, I met at you were teaching, what were you teaching?
Those weapons.
Weapons and film.
Love it.
It was a whole course in like weapons. And I was like staring at him the whole time, like, oh my gosh, this is my principal Hawkins. Cause he has such that presence of like owning, the room, and like, you're not gonna, mess with him, but also this soft side. So tell them the story about what happened after.
So I'm giving this weapons class. I have like M16s, M4s,
Wow.
AK-47s, you name it. And I'm actually I have the gas in them, so so the people in class can actually see what it feels like, and showing a couple of room clearing techniques from my military days, whatever. So afterwards. Robin walks just like beelines, like comes right to him. She's like, "You're not really a mean guy, are you?" I'm like, "You're a teddy bear, aren't you?" I just start giggling. I'm like, "Yeah, I am." So she's like, "You're perfect. You're the perfect person. I think you'll be great for this role in my movie. Let's talk about it." And from there, it just, it just spawned Principal Hawkins.
And he's just absolutely perfect. All of them. I can't even my movie would not be what it is without every single one of these guys and gals. And with Emi, I believe Emi auditioned through Backstage, I think it was. And it was, again, I mean, when I tell you thousands of people, and I know within like 5 seconds if this is the person, this is the person. I finally see her and I was like, oh, the heavens opened up. I got her right away. And you certain things you're not allowed to ask, but I wanted to make sure she was over 18. Like I just didn't know. Yeah. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, crazy question. And of course she was, so that worked out perfect. So for me with her immediately, I just knew. And I was watching her reel, and that's when I saw Ryan. So Ryan actually did not audition for I Win. I saw him in Emi's reel, and I found him. I was like, who is this guy? And I reached out to him, which again is crazy. After 4,000 people submitted, it's like I know exactly what I'm looking for. The talent just came through the screen. And with Austin, it's a great story as well. Austin is local to where I am. And by the recommendation of a friend, he actually did the table read while I was writing it, because I like to do a table read with actors just from around to kind of get the feel of things and hear it. And he actually read for Ivan when we did the table.
No, I know.
And I remember watching him going, he's not Ivan. He's not. I think he's Jax, So afterwards, we talked about that, and he came in for some chemistry reads because he and his mother, Sarah, who plays his mother, have so many important scenes. I was like, I have to make sure they're connected. And what I didn't know is that they actually were connected. They were already friends, and they had already done, I believe, some acting together. Austin can talk to that. So the chemistry read was like, what did I even bring you in here for? Like, this is fantastic. So yeah, that's how it all worked out.
I love that. I love it when it's like chemistry, where it's like you don't have to, it just makes it just easy. I was going to ask a really cool question about the character Jack, and just his, and all the friends, like how did they support each other throughout their individual struggles? Like, I wonder what that looks like.
Do you mean the actors on set, or?
Yeah, the characters.
Oh yeah, they were unreal from day one. You never really know. It was a 21-day shoot, and you go into something and you're like, I don't know how people's personalities are going to get along. And all of them just connected, and especially Austin and Nate Simon, who plays Charlie. they hit it off right away. And I was like, almost like, I kind of wish I didn't introduce you, because that first meeting has to be, Jax has to be a little standoffish and a little bit like, just, I don't know what I'm doing here. And of course, Austin was able to pull that off, even though they were already connected. But it was a beautiful thing. I tell people, and it sounds cliche, but this comes from my heart. Like, it is a great thing that we have a beautiful movie. It's great. But those 21 days on set were such an incredible experience. It is something I will never, ever forget. I think it changed a lot of us. And it was just that it was true inclusion, and it was true like supporting one another, and fun, and even sadness, because I wrote the thing, and I know it's fake, and I'm still over here crying on some of these scenes. Like, it was just, I can't even, it was unreal. I don't think I'll ever be able to do anything like it.
Yeah. I mean, because it's so relatable. I mean, all the themes that you're exploring, and I'm just curious of everyone in this, and all the actors too. This is for everyone. Just like I was bullied, so I can totally understand. I can relate to some of the, like, oh my God, it's like brought me back to like high school days and like how scary that was. But how does this story addresses the issue of bullying, and like what lessons do you want people to walk away with as well?
I'll tack onto this one since I was the bully myself. I think it's really important to be able to show how common it is. I was bullied myself in high school and in middle school as well, because I grew up in a baseball, football, you were weird kind of town, like very very like rural, middle of nowhere. And I wanted to do theater. I wanted to be an actor. I played soccer and I played sports and everything, and I loved those. But I always had a different kind of love for the arts, and that question things about sexuality or whatever. But it was like one of those things where I just had a calling to it, and being able to really kind of empower kids, if they see a film like this and they see how it's natural, it's going to happen. I feel like it could really keep them going to pursue their passions as well. So
Absolutely. Yeah, very well said. Oh, I think someone just came into the room. Hello.
Somebody else is
Hello.
here. Oh,
Oh,
Dana!
hey.
Hi. Hello. We were just going around the room kind of talking about the film, but please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dana. I play Nate's mom in the film, and I love and adore this film. I love all the people involved in it, the story. It's like every time I talk about it, I cry. So, hi.
Hi. Welcome. I was like, oh no. We were just kind of going around talking about like how you got into into acting. So tell me a little bit about how you got started in the acting world.
Oh, sure. I always loved theater. I grew up right outside New York City and spent, I can't tell you how many days going to Broadway shows and local theater and supporting the arts. And as I I acted as well in community theater as a teen. And yeah, after I became a mom, I said I had a career and in marketing. And after I became a mom, I thought I really want to do something else as well. And I thought, let's go back to acting. I always loved it. And I started community theater and started branching out into commercials and television and film. And I've worked with Robin before, and she's one of the most amazing people on the face of the earth. And when this script came out, I was praying that I would be able to get a role in it because it's so beautiful, and I was lucky enough to do so.
I love that. So I have everyone can go around the room and let me know if like cast and crews for everybody. But what was your favorite scene to shoot, and why did it resonate to you?
Goodness.
Emi, you want to go?
I look so contemplative and like, yes, of course, me go first. This is the one question I was trying to think. They're gonna ask me this. I should have an answer prepared. And I think it's a toss-up between two of them. First has got to be the dance scene. That one was so fun because we filmed that all day long. The only lasts a little bit, but we really had so many different things to deal with on that day. There were just so many issues that arose, and having to it's fun doing that conflict management and just and we were shooting, and it was so much fun because we had all these people who were dancing, and I don't know, like it's just fun, like when you as an actor get to have fun,
Yeah.
even though like some of the scene ends up not being so fun, but that's also fun as an actor to do, those more complicated situations.
Mhm.
So that was really fun. And also the bowling day. So I think I like it when I get to have fun on set. That was just a fun day of we were shooting at a bowling alley, and we got to like be in the arcade. We got to actually do, I didn't actually bowl, but we got to see some bowling, and Nate is actually just like really good at bowling, which is
Love
crazy.
it.
Like so that was just fun for all of us. So that was my personal favorites.
Nice, nice.
I think for me, definitely the dance. Dance is definitely up there. Like Emmy said, it's such a fun day, so much going on, but I just getting like the excuse to kind of dress up in prom clothes and go dance, like being man 22 when we filmed it, and this is just like a blast from the past, and being like, I get to relive these years again. It was really special. But definitely the closing scene too. We actually, it was the very last day of filming. We filmed the last scene, which is very rare.
Right.
So it was just such a nice bow on filming, and I just remember it was a really huge blend of emotions that day. But it was such a great day, and we all got to celebrate at our after party. It was such a blast.
Love that.
Yeah, for me, the first scene was the scene when Jax comes to my office,
Mm.
and I introduce him to the Best Buds program, and just understanding what that program meant, what it really was, and imagining something like that being initiated in real life, I think would be an excellent idea. And then watching it throughout the movie come to fruition, and then watching how Jax actually befriends Charlie, watching Emmy, actually her and her name's Kayla, but I can't remember her character name. Juliette, and how their interaction while we were all in the room together, which is the second scene that I was going to say, during the Best Buds program, where they're painting the sign on the floor, and you see Charlie and Jax being silly, eating the pretzels, and just everybody just really getting along, which is sometimes rare when filming. Not everybody are good friends or even cordial to one another. So the professionalism was one thing, but the genuineness of everybody truly enjoying each other's company was another.
It was such a beautiful thing, just to tag onto that. When we would wrap each day, normally, I mean, it's like everybody leaves and everybody goes their separate ways and see you one next time. But nobody wanted to leave. Like we all hung out. We were, even on our days off, we were exhausted. These were long, grueling, intense days. And we'd have a day off and we'd all wind up at a restaurant together, or wind up at bowling, or wind up going somewhere, because we just wanted to be together. Again, I've never experienced anything like it. It was really beautiful. But since I'm talking, I'll just say some of my favorite scenes were actually scenes that didn't make it into the film. I'm not sure if you guys remember. I mean, we shot for 21 days, so this film would have been a lot longer. I had to cut 20 minutes of the film.
Wow.
Which was brutal, but it made it a lot tighter and a lot better. There were scenes that it just like Jax was hurting, Nate's or Charlie's feelings over and over again. So it kind of felt almost slightly abusive. So I had to cut some of that out. But there was a car wash scene between Austin and Emmy that was just adorable, that did not make it into the film. I really love the promposal scene that did make it in. It's just so much fun. And we had fun doing it. It was just,
I love that.
That was a cute scene.
Great. Yeah. Anyone else? Anybody else favorite moment? A scene?
Austin?
I'll share mine.
I mean,
I actually, to piggyback on what Robin said, I had this beautiful scene with Nate. It was actually my audition scene, and it was cut from the film, and it was so beautiful. It was just between Nate and I, and he was just the sweetest thing in the scene with he had the blanket over his head, and it was a scene where Jax unfortunately had hurt his feelings again, so it was unfortunately cut from the film, but it just Nate just did a beautiful job of playing that scene out, and I loved like how he would peer out from the covers, and it was just he and I connected really beautifully. One day, Robin, I'm going to see that scene.
I know. I wish it had been edited to begin with. It was cut pretty early on, so I just have the raw footage, but I would love to see it too because it was gorgeous. It was
that and like Austin said, the last scene. That was just a fun day. It was just everything how it was all on this wrap day and the last scene. And then you didn't tell her about jumping in the lake, Austin, and how fun that was. It was the whole cast just jumped in the lake together, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I have a question for Austin. So your character, what was the most important lesson that Jack learns about, just coping with loss through the story?
Wow, that's a good question. I think looking back, because it is such a difficult thing for a teenager to process, especially losing a father, especially as a boy losing a father. And it's just I think Robin did a really beautiful job of laying that foundation that not only can you be open to just people being there for you and helping you grow and heal, but that it might be in a community that's stigmatized or that's possibly looked down upon or looked as different. And I think that's the lesson that Jax learned, is that, I mean, even in the conversation with Principal Hawkins, where he's talking about the Best Buds program, and Jax has no idea what it is. And he's like, what, kids in wheelchair, like throw stuff out, and just the connection he makes, and like the way he just, learns to heal and grow through just learning and understanding a group that he didn't before. I think Robin killed it. Robin made a really beautiful script. So
absolutely. And thank you so much again.
Did Ryan say his favorite scene?
Let me stay. I was thinking my favorite kind of funny because for the most part, I obviously don't act like that in real life. I would hope not. But my favorite scene has to come from an acting standpoint. I had fun. I had so much fun on set, and I got to experience the last day on set as well because we all jumped in the lake together. I was there for set for that day. But my favorite scene has to come from an acting standpoint. I really like the scene where I am outside of Emi's character's house, where I'm finally coming to tell her. I feel like this is the part where Ivan doesn't have many quote unquote redeeming moments, or like I guess the poker face of having a redeeming quality. But this whole scene kind of makes it to where he's like, oh, he's kind of come to the realization. He's had one of those like out of body crises or whatever, and he's coming back to finally tell her like one more time that I'm sorry for everything I did. And then that look down, and I look back up. And then all of a sudden, everything was a facade. It was all like not true. He's still got that evilness under him, and it was really hard to play that because I grew up in like a really like yes ma'am, no ma'am, like please thank you town. But yeah, so I feel like I love playing challenging characters, and I love portraying powerful stories. And every scene, even though it was hard to feel like that, because I love the people involved in this film, and I love Robin, and I love Nate, and I love Jackson and Austin and everyone, So it's just one of those things where being able to turn it off and really embody a character is so fascinating to me, and that's probably why that was my favorite scene.
I love that. I have a fun question for you guys. If you could have a superpower for a day, what would you do and how would you use it? Each person can go around the room.
I got that easy. If I had one superpower, it would be able to make everybody laugh.
Oh,
that's exactly, yeah.
Dang, man, my visibility sounds terrible now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if we can get everyone to stop for a second and to see the world through someone else's eyes and to open their heart. We've become so hard-hearted as a society, as a world even. If we could just take a step back and see everyone as our brother, our sister, or however they identify, I think this planet would be a much better place.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to follow that, but I will.
That was amazing. Sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, what do you want people, this is specifically to the director, what do you want people to walk away with after watching this film?
It's hard to sum it up in one answer, and that's why I added so much into it. I mean, when you watch I Win, the beauty of it, Bronsonn and I were talking about this before we came on the podcast, was that the response that we're getting to this film has been more than I could have ever dreamed of. And it's from ages, adolescents, all the way up to, people in their 70s, 80s. It's affecting everyone. There's a piece of it that anyone can connect to, whether it is the bullying or the friendship or the grief or the love, all of that. It's so incredible to see that people can relate to it on any level. But of course, the reason I wrote this film ultimately was to let people know that there are people that are different than them, and that's okay. Give it a chance. You can find so much beauty, so much love, so much, friendship in opening yourself up to meeting people that are not like you. And that doesn't even mean just a disability. That can mean ethnicity. It can mean gender. It can mean sexuality. It can mean anything. And it's just so important for people to step outside of themselves and welcome that.
I love that. Oh man, I could talk to you guys all day. Can everybody go around the room, give me your Instagram handle or where people can find you on social media?
I am Bronsonn, BRONSONN_Taylor. I'm on IG, Facebook, you name it. What's the other one? TikTok. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. All the same.
Oh. I'm Hoffy's Heart, so it's HOFFYS, Heart, as in the beating heart, HEART, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Love it. Anybody else? Handles? Instagram handles? Or?
I'm Ryan Painter official, PAYNTER official. The other one was taken, so I had to put official on
there. I'm an official too. I feel you.
Mine is go for it, Austin.
Nope, Dana, all you.
Mine is really, really super really boring. It's Dana _Anderwald, ANDERWALD _actor. Very boring.
I really don't use social media all that much, but if I do, it's Instagram. You can find me at probably Austin Lampe. That's LAMPE. I really only use it to post clips of the Orlando Magic winning, which I got a game tonight.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I use Instagram. My @ is just my name, Emi.Curia, EMI.CURIA. And I also don't really use social media that much. Facebook, like a whole person thing.
I love it. And where can people find this film? On
Amazon Prime Video.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to all of you guys, and I wish you nothing but the best for this film. It was fun. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And thank you
Love
all
guys.
Thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.